Welcome to Inkquiring Minds. My name is Doug and I'm back with another fountain pen review. An Inkquiring Minds member left a comment asking if I'd seen the new Majohn P141. I immediately contacted Sally at EasyBuy on Etsy and asked her if she'd sell me one for review. She very kindly agreed to take my money and asked if I'd be interested in reviewing a new Duke D2 Fude pen while I was at it. And within 10 days I had these two pens in my mitts. We'll leave the Duke for now because I'm very interested to see the differences between the Majohn P140 piston filler and the P141. Right off the bat, one of the differences is the P140 is clear. But there was some discussion on my channel about whether the piston in the P141 was brass like the one on the P140, or had Majohn cheaped out on the P149 because now you can't see it. So let's find out right now. And this one is from Sally at EasyBuy. And she asked whether I'd want to review a second pen as well. So there's two pens in here. I'll be interested to find out what she's sending me. Let's open this up. And here we have the Majohn and an envelope with something else. And there we have a pen. And this is the Duke D2. Feels very much like a Jinhao X750. And it's a cartridge converter. Yeah, Chinese standard. Here's the second nib she sent me with it. So the whole thing come as one package for about $30 US is what the unboxing is about. The Majohn P141. And here's the pen. We have the typical pen manual in English and Chinese and pictograms, all of that. Thank you, Majohn. That's very good. And that elastic there, let's take it out of its condom. And here's the pen. And there's the steel number 8 size fine nib. And it feels a little bit heavier. Let's measure the weight. And that is 37.75 is 32.65. So that's a substantial difference of 5 grams, roughly. So I'm thinking that speculation might be right. That the difference between the P141 and the P140 is brass. We'll look at the parts and features of this pen in a moment, but Inkquiring Minds want to know, at least this one does, is the piston in the P141 the same as the piston in the P140? You saw in the unboxing that the two pens don't weigh the same, with the P141 being about 5 grams lighter than the P140. So let's take this pen apart and find out. Okay, you Inkquiring Minds out there, the burning question is the piston in the P140 the same as the piston in the P141? We saw there's a weight imbalance between these two, with this one being 5 grams lighter than this one, but let's take it apart and find out. To do this, you can use one of two different wrenches. This one is designed for the Majohn number 8 size nibs and has a wrench for the piston and one for the nib assembly. This one is from Asvine, and many of you might have this Asvine wrench because they tend to provide this wrench with their piston filler fountain pens. I just widened this one out just slightly here to make it fit nicely. These Majohn wrenches are available on AliExpress for about $8 US. Okay, let's take this puppy apart. First off, let's take the nib out. Use the small side for that. You'll find there's a couple of divots right there and right there on the nib collar, and this doesn't fit. So I'll use the Asvine. So this one I know fits. There we go. It fits down in there. And you unscrew it counterclockwise, lefty-loosey. And there's a couple of silicone rings there, so this takes a bit of turning. So it got a little bit loose. I'm just going to give it a turn by holding on to the nib and feed. There we go. And there's the nib unit with the 2 O-rings. You need those in place in order to keep the section from leaking. And let's pull this nib by holding on to the shoulders with some matting material, pushing our knuckles together and pulling. And there we have the nib and the feed and the nib collar. Now let's turn it over and get at that piston. We open up the piston and use the wide side of the wrench, which does fit. There we go. And I always just hold that down on the table and turn the blind cap piston knob down until it clamps onto the wrench very lightly. And then we're going to go lefty-loosey on this one. So it's a regular thread on this, not reverse. We can turn that around. Et voila. There we go. So we just found out this is exactly the same piston that's in the P140. Exactly the same piston. And I spoke too soon. On closer inspection, this piston rod is plastic in the P141, whereas it's brass in the P140. So the weight discrepancy of 5 grams can be made up of the heaviness of the acrylic. This is turned acrylic, and this is injection molded plastic, plus the brass piston rod on the P140 should make up that differential. Well, I got the piston out and still attached to that wrench, so I don't change the length of this piston at all. I take the opportunity to add some silicone grease to those 2 silicone rings right there on the piston. Just add a little bit, little dab will do ya. Silicone grease or silicone oil, just to lubricate that piston. You can also take the opportunity to lubricate those brass threads right there, just to make the whole thing slide easily and also seal from any ink leaks out the back. Just some preventative maintenance there. And we put it back in the barrel, and then it's righty-tighty, just hand tight. Don't want to split that plastic. And then you can release the piston knob, and that lets the wrench off. Run that piston up and down a couple of times like that to spread that silicone oil around. And then we can take our nib and feed, put them back together again. This is really easy instead of having to line this up. The tail of this nib has a little part that slides right up against that little arrow right there. And you know you're absolutely perfectly aligned. Get some gripper material, hold the nib and feed top and bottom, and push it all the way into the nib unit, and then you can screw it back in the barrel. I don't recommend actually adding any silicone oil or grease here because it might interfere with the flow of ink if you get it anywhere near that feed. So put it in, give it a nice turn until it's hand tight. Et voila, back together again. And now let's weigh the pen to find out how much ink capacity it has. So that weighs 20.22 grams. Press tear. And I'm going to put my favorite black ink in this, Roshizuku Takasumi. And there we go. We have 1.53 milliliters of ink, which is what I expected. Now let's examine the parts and features of this pen. I'll then provide some size comparisons, measurements, and include a writing sample. And then I'll talk about what I like and what I don't like so much about this fountain pen. Overall, the pen is in almost every dimension the same size as a Montblanc 149. One Inkquiring Minds member, George Parabadakis, hi George, commented, quote, "I so wish that everyone would stop copying the 149 and the 146 and start copying some other interesting shapes. How about a copy of the Schaefer Balance oversized VAC with a number 8 nib? Wouldn't you want to see that? And if they do a demonstrator, I'll buy 2 of them. Or hopefully something Esterbrook from the past, especially the J series. I'd buy a dozen. I have to agree, all these Chinese companies falling over themselves trying to make the best Montblanc 149 clone has become a little tedious. I suppose they're just keying on the fact that the Montblanc 149 is one of, if not the most recognizable fountain pens in the world. But George's point is well taken. At least Asvine made their Montblanc 146 clone, the J16, out of titanium. Great pen, by the way. But hey, Asvine, how about making something like a Schaefer Balance, an Esterbrook J, or even better, the Eversharp Skyline? That'd be cool. George has given me an idea for a new video. Clone Wars, or The Attack of the Clones, or Send in the Clones.
In the clone!
I'll work that title out later. But I'd like to make a video about my favorite clones of famous models of fountain pens. What are your favorite clones? But let's get on with this Montblanc clone of the Montblanc 149. First, the main differences between the P140 and the P141 are: one is turned acrylic, the other is injection molded plastic. One is a demonstrator, the other not so much. But it does have an ink window. The steel nibs are the same size, but the P140 has the Sun Moon logo with the word Expedition on it, and in this case is a medium. And the P141 has a two-tone nib with Moonman and the old Moonman logo, and in this case it's a fine. And the nibs are interchangeable. The two pens are exactly the same size within fractions of millimeters, and they have different cap bands but the same clips. And as we have seen, the pistons are the same, with the exception that the P140 has a brass piston rod. From the top of the P149, we see another difference in the small circular gold metal disc inlaid into the top finial. By the way, these dimensions are within fractions of millimeters of the Montblanc 149. There are two gold metal cap bands, one thick and one thin, and the thick one has Majohn China and Majohn China stamped into it. The clip is springy and usable, and the barrel tapers down to another gold metal ring that separates the barrel from the piston knob. This transition isn't as smooth as I would like it. Certainly not as smooth as a Montblanc 149 or even the Wingsung 630. The cap unscrews with one and a bit of a turn to reveal the thick, slightly tapering black plastic section, which has a slight flare towards the number 8 size steel, two-toned, fine nib, and black plastic feed. One commenter on the P140 review mentioned that the feed was ebonite. Neither of the feeds on the P140 or the P141 is ebonite. They are injection molded plastic. And the nib and feed are part of a nib assembly that unscrews for maintenance. If all you are doing is cleaning the pen, it's a lot easier to unscrew this nib assembly and rinse out the piston chamber with a bulb syringe rather than disassemble the piston. If you are changing inks, then by all means, disassembling the piston would be necessary. The inside of the cap shows a liner to help seal the nib from evaporation. Cap posts deeply and securely and makes it a big pen with a slight imbalance towards the cap. Unposted, the pen is very comfortable and well balanced in the hand. This is a thick pen. I bought this pen from Sally on Easy Buy on Etsy, where it sells for about $40 US. It's available in 4 colors: black, red, green, and blue, and in 2 trim options, gold or silver, and it only has the one fine nib. Now let's look at some size comparisons. And here we are with the Majohn P141 with a Wingsung 630, a Majohn P140, an Asvine J16, and the huge Wingsung 930. Now let's look at them posted. And here they are posted. They're all rather big pens, but this one just dwarfs them all. And that's a number 9 size steel nib on the 930. This is a number 6 size steel Jovo nib on the Asvine J16. And all these 3 nibs are number 8 size, but on my Wingsung 630, I have a 14 karat gold nib, not a steel nib. You can get these Wingsung 630 with a steel nib as well. But for a gold nib, this pen is about $175 US, the Wingsung 630, and it's an incredible gold nib fountain pen for the money. Now let's look at them unposted. And here they are unposted. They're all relatively manageable when they're unposted, and these 3 pens are virtually identical. Now let's look at some measurements, and I'll be back with a writing sample. And we're back with the writing portion of the review. This is Clairefontaine 90 JSM paper, and this is the Majohn P141. And it has a number 8 size steel fine nib. Let's check the wetness. It's decently wet, and the nib has a lot of feedback. It was actually a little bit even scratchy this way. I adjusted the tines a little bit, but it's just very feedbacky. And the ink is my favorite black ink, Iroshizuku Takasumi. And let's measure this line with my pad from Dominant Industries, 0.5 millimeter line, which is a Western fine. And as the line variation, well, you can squeeze a little bit out of it, but it's a fairly stiff nib. And for our quote. And for some reverse writing, it's very scratchy and dry, and it's actually running out. And for some quick writing, it's actually skipping now and then. So that feed, well, it's keeping up okay now, but I find when I start to write now and then, it will skip. So what are my thoughts about this fountain pen? This pen is not going to dislodge my Wingsung Junlai 630 from the pinnacle of my Montblanc 149 clone pens. Far from it. In fact, I don't like it as much as the Majohn P140. I like this pen. The piston knob is flimsy with a lot of play in it. The transition from the barrel to the piston knob isn't smooth, and the nib is just, well, uninspiring. The nib on the P140, the Expedition, is lovely, smooth, and wet. And it isn't just the difference from the medium to the fine. Of course, my Wingsung 630 is a fine nib as well. But that fine nib is just glorious. And whether it's steel or gold, they should perform the same. The real difference between gold and steel, I keep reiterating, is longevity, not softness. The nib's architecture has more to do with it than the material. Gold just lasts longer than steel, and the metal that touches the paper is the same, whether it's gold or steel. The P141 just doesn't feel as well built as the Majohn P140. That might be because Majohn Moonman is just not as good at making injection molded plastic pens as they are at making clear acrylic. Most of the clear acrylic offerings from Moonman Majohn have been exemplary, and why they didn't put the Expedition number 8 size steel nib on the P141 is beyond me. Most Moonman nibs, for me at least, have been stiff and boring.
Like the people of Alexandria, they are bored by civilization.
And this P141 isn't any different. And there you have it. If you like this video, please like and subscribe, and don't forget to ring that bell to get instant notifications whenever a new video is posted. And you can join as a member of my channel for 99 cents a month, and I guarantee I'll answer your comments in the comment section, and you'll get cool emojis, badges, sneak peek unboxing videos, as well as instant access to my videos the moment I post them. And that just leaves it for me to say, thank you for watching. And that's all she wrote.
I made this.